whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today, but if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, Gavin.Rich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel GBoot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace.
Hi, I'm attorney Gavin M. Richard. Check out my latest book, The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America. For approximately 2 years now, I have gone on a painstaking quest to investigate the rise and fall of an American icon, Bill Cosby. In the mid-1980s, there was not a star that was higher than Cosby. Advertisements with Coca-Cola, Jello, Kodak, along with the #1 television show for 5 straight years in a row. On Thursday nights, it was must-see TV on NBC. Cosby resurrected the genre of the traditional family sitcom that was once thought dead by television critics. He did this as a Black American with an all-Black cast and showed mainstream network executives in white America that it was possible to be successful without showing the worst in people. He also demonstrated the power that television had, as it can make younger people dream to be the best that they can be. However, like many celebrity stars, unfortunately, they all come crashing down, sometimes by their own fault, others not so much. In this book, I attempted to highlight certain things. We go in depth into both of his trials in 2017 and 2018, respectively. What if I told you that these criminal trials were politically motivated by an overzealous district attorney? Will you also be shocked to learn the attacks on Mr. Cosby did not start in 2014, but also in the 90s, not long after his attempted quest to purchase a major network? From where did all of these allegations of sexual misconduct come from? Were the accusers telling the truth? In the 2 years of research, with some help from others interested in learning the truth and facts about this case, we discussed both the legal reasons why his prosecution and trial were illegal, unwarranted, and also the possible personal motives as to why this may have occurred. Most importantly, we warn about the dangers of prejudice and why trial by social media, or mainstream media rather, should never be the norm. All this and more in The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America. Available on Amazon this fall in Kindle and paperback format.
Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America, or in the United States rather, available now on Amazon, Kindle, and paperback format. Ladies and gentlemen, please be sure to go to Amazon and order on Kindle The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr. But most importantly, leave a remark on Amazon after you finish reading it. That's the only way the book gets promoted and actually goes further and further. Ladies and gentlemen, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. We thank you all for tuning in and joining in the hottest live stream here on YouTube and Facebook, as well as on Twitter via Periscope, GavinRich2786. This is Gavin Richard Presents. It is Random Topic Thursdays, the hottest live stream on social media. Ladies and gentlemen, we have several topics we're going to get into tonight, but of course, we would like to ask for you to please, you see that ticker at the bottom, to donate to the Cash App, the PayPal, the Zelle, and Venmo that is available. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd ask you to do that. We'd also ask if you would like to support this channel, you could also donate. You can also purchase some Creole seasoning blends, Nawny'sCreoleBlends.com. That's another way to support me. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nawny's goes great with every dish, as well as getting our songs like Video Soul and Gotta Get On Up. So before we get on down, we got to get on up. And we're going to discuss our topics with our friend and guest always on a Thursday, Mr. Shawn James. Our topics are as follows. Yee is getting canceled everywhere. I want to know what his thoughts on Los Angeles council members confronted by the public over their racist remarks. Spelled there wrong. Excuse me. There. That's better. As well as Alex Jones ordered to pay nearly $1 billion in damages regarding defamatory remarks about Sandy Hook victims. All this and more, ladies and gentlemen. But before we do that, let's go ahead, get on down, and get on up.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, because on the dance floor is where we'll be. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the full chorus. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe and you're achieving. So if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up
and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the floor, baby.
Yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up. Baby.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Gotta get on up. What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome to another edition of Random Topic Thursdays. It's a pleasure to see all of you here with, and it's grateful to see, especially my friend, and let's bring him in, the author of the new upcoming book, The Woman Crisis. This will probably, I think this makes books number 79 or 80, one of those, because Sean's written over 75 books, I think. It's gotten close to that. So I want y'all to give your a warm applause to Mr. Shawn James. What's going on, Sean?
I'm good, Gavin. How are you?
I'm doing good. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the woman crisis before we get into our topics? Because I guess you've done the man crisis already, which is a must read. And I'm going to tell people buy one of your books, Stop Simping in Cyberspace. But let's talk about the woman crisis.
All right. The woman crisis is the companion to the man crisis. And this book talks about why many of America's women are suffering as related to the problems that they're having, because a lot of our American women, they are miserable, they are unhappy, they're not satisfied with their lives. And a lot of them are becoming more frustrated and angry. And the woman crisis details why most of America's women are not finding that peace as related to their lives, and why so many of them are becoming so frustrated and despondent that some are just feeling like life means nothing at this point.
Okay. And I know you've been on this journey, I believe, for the last year or so. You have been writing the first draft of this. So it is available for pre order now on Amazon.com, The Woman Crisis.
Yes, it's available for pre-order on Amazon.com and every online bookseller, everyone from Barnes & Noble, the iBookstore, Google Play, and Smashwords, and other online booksellers. You can get The Woman Crisis everywhere in digital format, and it will be coming to paperback in November.
All right, cool. Sean, let's talk about something very interesting. Let's get into our first topic. I don't know if you've heard about this, but former YouTuber Alex Jones, he had InfoWars, if anybody remembers back in the day. And he's commented on a lot of stuff from Kennedy assassination to 9/11 in particular, and a bunch of other stuff. The Bilderbergers, the Illuminati. That's kind of how he talks. Very,
Yeah.
very cranky, kind of erratic guy. Cantankerous, I guess is a word you could say, cantankerous. But Alex Jones recently, he also made comments about Sandy Hook and calling it fake, and the victims were that it really didn't happen, basically calling it a false flag operation. I think that's the way he was trying to describe it. I'm not 1,000% sure, but I think that's close to it. Well, the families of the children filed a defamation lawsuit against Alex Jones, and he was found liable. A lot of people say, why is he found guilty? Guilty is this only in criminal proceedings. This was a civil proceeding. And in Connecticut, which is where the Sandy Hook incident was found located, where the incident took place, your Alex Jones was standing trial for a jury, and a jury came back and awarded the families, 15 plaintiffs in this case, $965 million. Now, this is actually footage from inside the courtroom, I believe, at the time. I don't know if Jones is present, but we can play a little bit of it. But $965 million.
To plaintiff Mark Barton, paid defamation/slander damages past and future $25 million. B, emotional distress damages, past and future, $32,600,000. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiff Mark Barden and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems, at line A and line B, $57,600,000, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff Nicole Hockley, A, defamation / slander damages, past and future, $32 million. B, emotional distress damages, past and future, $41,600,000. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages to plaintiffs Nicole Hockley and against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems, at line A and line B, $73,600,000, initialed by plaintiff, initialed by juror number 1. To plaintiff Ian Hockley, A, defamation / slander damages, past and future, $38 million. B, emotional distress damages, past and future, $43,600,000. Total fair, just, and reasonable damages.
So I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to actually click out of that because I wanted everybody to finish seeing it. But before I back out of it, I'm going to pause it because I want to just actually show you guys something else. So how this started, obviously, this was back. Obviously, the incident took place back in 2012, Sandy Hook. I remember this vividly. I actually remember when it happened. I believe it was in December of 2012. I was studying for.
1 second.
You gotta go there. Well, I'll tell everybody I was studying for my. I was studying for my bar exam. For not bar exam, but I was in law school studying for class. For my final exams, and I remember when this happened. And I also remember around this time, it was like always with mass shootings, they want to talk about gun control. So that was the main thing I remember. And I know who Alex Jones is because I've watched some of his documentaries and seen some of the things that he has pushed and promoted. Now, I'm going to share this clip. So what happens is that in 2012, 20 student kids were killed and 6 staff members of Sandy Hook Elementary. Adam Lanza was the shooter, and he took his own life. Then on April 23rd, Jones called Sandy Hook a government operation with inside job written over it on InfoWars. And one of at least a dozen occasions, he contributed to, and I'm reading from the Reuters article, to spread false claims about the shooting. And then in 2018, several parents filed 2 separate lawsuits against Alex Jones and Free Speech Systems, which is the owner of the InfoWars website, in Texas state court. Then 14 relatives of Sandy Hook victims sued Jones and 4 entities connected to Jones in Connecticut state court. Another Sandy Hook parent sues Jones and Free Speech Systems in Texas, where Jones' radio show and webcasts are based. And in 2021, a Texas judge entered a default judgment finding Jones liable for defamation after he repeatedly flouted court orders and failed to turn over documents to the plaintiff. So that happens when you fail to actually follow.
I apologize.
No, that's all right. It's no problem. I was just going over with everybody why a default judgment was rendered against Alex Jones here. So this is the timeline. So several entities back in April of 2022, they filed for bankruptcy, which would pause all the lawsuits. The case was dismissed in June after the Sandy Hook parents intervened, arguing it was a stall tactic. Texas jury found that Jones and Free Speech Systems have to pay $49.3 million in total damages after a 2-week trial. And we know Free Speech Systems in August of 2022 faced trial in Connecticut despite filing for bankruptcy in July, which would normally shield it from lawsuits. And then finally, $965 million in damages and attorney's fees. That's not counting the attorney's fees and court costs that he'll have to face. So this is roughly $1 billion. Now, this is coming off, especially when we're talking about differences with things with free speech and defamation and conspiracy theories. You know, Barack Obama, and I showed this video on my last live stream back on Sunday when Reverend Childress was here, how the president, former President Obama, was talking about how the things need to be regulated because he felt that it was hurting democracy, spreading of false rumors, and it's causing white supremacy and racism and all of these other things. I honestly think that there may be an attempt to regulate the internet. They have tried in the past. They've still trying with stuff. I do believe, though, that people have to be responsible for what they say and be careful. That's why I always say when there's a crime that's taking place, I always say alleged, because I don't know. There's every person is innocent until proven guilty, and I don't know all the facts. Now, some stuff you see on tape, it speaks for itself, obviously, but you still have to be mindful of it because we're still in America. And while we have the First Amendment that protects us when you make statements, especially if you said something falsely against somebody, slanderous, you accuse somebody of a crime and they're innocent, they can likely sue you for slander or defamation. But there's no way I can see Alex Jones and paying this type of money. But what are your thoughts on it, Shawn?
Well, what they're trying to do with Alex Jones is they're trying to set a legal precedent where they can try to regulate people's free speech. And what I see what they're trying to do with Alex Jones is they're trying to destroy this man financially, and they're trying to destroy him in a way that he cannot ever come back. Because with this type of judgment, this man will never, ever be able to pay over $1 billion. And what they want to do is use this judgment to silence Alex Jones and prevent him from being able to go out here and be able to have a platform, because this is what they've been trying to do with him. All these different internet companies like Google and Apple and all these other companies, they've been trying to silence him for years. And he went out here, started his own website and managed to build his own base outside of social media. And now what they want to do is use this judgment to be able to fiscally make it where he can never go out here and build anything else. So this is a very dangerous legal precedent as I see it, because if you have one man whose free speech is censored like this, what's to stop entities from going out here and censoring somebody else, all because they disagree with him? Now, I am no supporter of Alex Jones or any of the conspiracy theories he presents, but I do support his constitutional right to free speech, because the First Amendment isn't about the speech that you like. It's about the speech that you don't like. And when I look at this whole case, yes, he did present his opinions as related to Sandy Hook, and they are completely insane. But the whole thing is that free speech allows somebody to go out here and make those type of speech, and we have a right as Americans to not listen to that speech. When we start censoring people like your Alex Jones, then we start having a slippery slope. And that slippery slope is one where we start having it where we have these dangerous narratives, as people calling things misinformation, like what we saw with the Biden administration was trying to do with their whole Department of Misinformation before they got caught. And the whole idea of the government telling us what is information and what is not information is a dangerous platform. And it's a very dangerous platform, because what happens is that this is how you get propaganda and not get objective facts. And you don't get information that allows people to make their own choices as related to things, because the state is telling you what the information is. And that's a very dangerous place to be, because we could be in a place like your North Korea or one of these other communist countries where the government is telling us everything that is information, that is fact. And that's a dangerous place, again, because when you have the government telling you what information is, you're not getting the facts as related to things, just somebody's opinion as related to it. And that opinion could be very detrimental if we are in the middle of a war or a conflict and the country is suffering as a result. So this is a very dangerous legal precedent, and many people aren't really taking a critical look at it because they get emotional about Alex Jones. But I look at his right to free speech as important to my right to free speech, because if they take away his right to free speech and destroy him from and prevent him from not being able to access a platform, nobody else will have access to that same platform as well.
So your main thing is that it's not about whether the fact you like him is yours, and I understand what you're saying. It's about the fact of his right to say what he needs to be, what's on his mind. You
Yes,
support.
it's all about his right to say what he wants to say, and it's about that First Amendment right to free speech. Yes, he did say some crazy stuff about this being a staged incident. And I got when I was making the videos about Adam Lanza, I had commenters putting those same type of ridiculous comments in my comment thread. And as somebody who wants to deal with free speech, I went out here and I just ignored those comments and I left them up there in some cases. And I just said, okay, that's what they want to say. And I'm just going to leave that right there because, again, you have a village idiot. And if a village idiot wants to say something and say, oh, this didn't happen, when there's facts to say that it did happen and wants to say that this was some sort of crisis incident. I mean, I've heard this about multiple mass shootings.
Yeah, I've heard it about this. I heard about the Aurora College, even Aurora out in Colorado, because I know they were watching. I think the one I saw was they were watching Batman, the
Yeah.
new Batman movie, and on the map, in a scene in one of the movies, I did see where there was a town called Sandy Hook, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, I mean, and let me be real, I don't doubt that there are some conspiracies that are real. Uh, I don't trust my government per se. Uh, we still have not resolved what happened with Dr. King. I don't
Nope.
think we haven't resolved what happened to JFK. And to a certain degree, we have not resolved what really happened with 9/11. You were up there, Shawn, in New York.
Yeah.
I have my questions about how Tower 7 fell and it wasn't impacted by an airplane. So media do lie. But when you're involving, I guess, children, especially with victims, you do have to be careful with what you say. But I do support a person's right to speak their mind. But do I think that this is retaliatory in some way? Yeah, could be. I think it's a way to prevent him from ever being on any internet service because he's banned from anything, from everything.
Yeah.
You know, he's banned from everything, from Twitter, from Facebook.
That's why he went and got his own website.
Yeah, and I mean, he can't make with this type of judgment. He can't do anything.
No, he's done. And what's scary is that the way they did him is the way they could do us.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's the only thing I'm mindful of is the amount. Is does the punishment fit the crime?
I'd have to say no.
It's more a punishment than justice.
Yeah.
I mean, $1 billion. You're gonna sue someone for $1 billion, and you know they don't have $1 billion. Alex Jones, I don't even think. I don't know if he's I don't even know if he's a multi-millionaire. Um, I'm sure he he lived comfortably, makes a good living, and yeah, he's a right winger. There's some shit I don't like, but there's some things I have agreed with. I do believe in the Second Amendment. I've always said that. I do think that there is some truth, though, Shawn, that I do believe the government does want to take the guns from the people.
Yeah, they do. I believe that myself. But the whole thing is
But
that,
you got to be careful with what you say and have facts behind it. And if you don't have it, you're going to find yourself in trouble. But you were about to say one last thing?
oh, I was just about to say that, if you take the guns away, you want to wind up with a messed up society.
Well, they tried to look at all the places that have the guns taken away. Look at Mexico. They have problems with the drug cartel. Look at even Japan, where they don't have a mass shootings and everyone points to it. Japan also has the highest suicide rate of any country.
Yeah.
So is it about saving lives or is it about how you take lives? Because if it's either one, if you're supporting either one or supporting taking the guns, I should say, rather than, I don't think you care about anybody's lives. I think you care about control.
Listen to your verdict.
Now, this is a lawyer's take on it, the verdict.
Verdict, we the jury have reached our verdict as to damages in this case. We award damages to each plaintiff. Again,
I wasn't that surprised in the sense that Jones really dug his own grave on this. he got himself caught in a default situation where they chose through their litigation tactics to get in trouble, get default, and go straight to damages, which was a really misstep because a case like this in defamation with an actual malice standard, they're tough to win. And had he not done that, had he participated in the process, he may be able to defend or put up a good fight. Jones has a few moves he can make. You know, he certainly can appeal both the damages award. He may be able to appeal the default. You know, and he has the option of bankruptcy. It does have implications for freedom of speech, but I think they're good. And it's going to have an effect on other organizations, the media, as well as others in the public that, hey, you know, we're not completely immune from liability because of the First Amendment. You know, you can poke through it on the right facts.
People found out that there was this issue about your company having sent child pornography to my office, correct? That's how people found out about it.
Initial by juror number 1. 2 plaintiffs, $8 million. Initial by juror number 1.
Okay, so you heard what the attorney said.
Immune from liability because of the First Amendment. You know, you can poke through it on the right facts.
People found out that there was this.
So he said he was surprised, right?
Yeah.
And had he not done that, had he participated in the process, it's a really misstep because a case like situation where they chose through their litigation tactics to get in trouble, get default, and go straight to damages, which was a really misstep because a case like this in defamation with an actual malice standard,
that was his fault.
They're tough to win.
If you don't file an answer, you don't do anything in court, you're looking at a default judgment, which means they can enter anything against you. Don't do that.
Had he not done that, had he participated in the process, he may be able to defend or put up a good fight. Jones has a few moves he can make. You know, he certainly can appeal both the damages award. He may be able to appeal the default. You know, and
Jones has stated, by the way, that he does plan, from what I'm reading, I was reading on Yahoo News that he is planning to file an appeal on it. And
he's got to appeal.
He's got no other choice but to. But the thing is going to be hard. He can do it. It's going to be hard, though, especially since he didn't file a formal answer either. But I would definitely appeal it if I were him. He's got to. He got no choice. All right, hit that like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. I want to get into the next thing. Now, this is the big thing that's going on right now, Shawn. Have you heard what's happening to Yee?
No, not really.
Kanye West is being canceled everywhere, even by his own bank, Chase.
Wow.
Now, did you hear what happened with Kanye West and the remarks he made?
I heard he said something about the Jews that.
Well, it started over the weekend, my understanding, where he was going back and forth with Diddy. And, of course, Kanye had that White Lives Matter hoodie that was on.
Yeah.
And Kanye basically said, Kanye basically said F Diddy. And he had text messages. And he was talked about going DEFCON on him, declared war on him. And he also talked about going DEFCON on Jews or something like that. And I saw people from Jamie Lee Curtis. I saw people from Rob Reiner calling him an anti-Semite. All of these things. And one of the things Kanye said he said black people are actually Jews. And you've heard of this term before, but yeah, they were decrying his post when he said he was going DEFCON 3 and a reference to and that's what a lot of the outcry was. So some Jewish organizations are even coming at him. But I saw this recently, and just so you can, if you all don't believe me, JP Morgan Chase, as a result of these remarks, so I'm paraphrasing everything, but that's essentially what happened, because Kanye also went on Tucker Carlson's show on Fox and was talking about being conservative and so forth. Now, I'm not the biggest Kanye West supporter. I love Kanye when he came out with late registration and graduation. He's an outstanding artist. I do question a lot of the shit he says because I think his head ain't screwed on in the right place. But some stuff he does say, if you listen to it, he sounds very intelligent. He says some stuff I agree with. Now, he actually was saying in the same breath, he supported Dr. Claude Anderson. We need Dr. Claude Anderson. You see, one thing I know too is that white America, especially white liberals, they don't like it when a black man can think for himself. They don't like you when you're independent. And Kanye West is a multi-billionaire, but banking giant JP Morgan Chase has cut ties with Kanye West and his Yeezy brand. There was no official reason given, and this is coming, of course, from the ostrich. I do not like Candace Owens. Lord knows I don't, but she tweeted this and actually had the text messages because if you remember, she actually was in that picture with Kanye West.
Yep.
But you look here, and this is the purported message that was sent to Kanye West that Candace Owens has. She said, "We are sending this letter to confirm our recent discussion that JP Morgan Chase Bank has decided to end its relationship with Yeezy LLC and its affiliated entities. To provide the company with sufficient time to transition to another financial institution, we will continue to maintain the accounts attached as Exhibit A, including all related products and services until November 21st, 2022. Now, I'm not going to read everything, but you see here, they're essentially closing his account. Now, you couple this with also with what PayPal, and I don't know if you saw that as well, Shawn.
Oh, I've seen that.
That they were allegedly going to start fining people for misinformation. They got backlash from it and then retracted and apologized. But you look at this, and again, I would not consider myself necessarily a Republican. I would say I'm an independent. I'm actually a Democrat, but I'm so fed up with the Democratic Party and their policies. And I also, while I don't like the Republicans because they just simply ignore you and have no need for you, the Democrats take you for granted, like they've always done, black man. But when you look at this, Shawn, and the fact that they're coming out at Kanye, and mind you, Kanye West has said stuff about black people, nobody reacted, nobody batted an eye. But the minute he talked about the Jewish community going DEFCON and how Diddy was controlled by the Jews, and speaking of which, Diddy can't speak on black issues because Diddy is the one who had that vote or die BS. If you remember back in 2008, that if you didn't vote for Obama, you were going to die.
Yeah.
Which made absolutely no sense. Diddy was backing, Hillary Clinton. He was trying to get black people to vote for Joe Biden. So when you see this stuff, and I have copies of the text messages that Kanye sent, but when you see that report, Shawn, what do you think of, first off, Kanye West being JP Morgan Chase terminating it and Kanye West's remarks?
Well, I'm going to take this apart in two things. I'm going to deal with this whole thing with JP Morgan Chase because that's a scary thing right there. I mean, this part of the cancel culture is what we see in China. Whenever somebody posts an opinion on social media they don't like, the Chinese will go out here and destroy somebody's so-called social credit score and make it where they cannot go out here and do business. They can't go to the store and buy things. And they basically prevent that person from being able to live their life. And it's all because they disagree with somebody. And that's really scary because here in America, I thought we had free speech and I thought we had a right to freedom of expression. And again, the First Amendment was meant to protect the speech we disagreed with or we didn't like. And it's really scary what's going on here with Kanye West and your JP Morgan Chase, because it's showing a disturbing trend as related to all these corporate institutions and how they're trying to control people. And again, when people try to control people, it's a place that they're coming from insecurity about having to be, they're insecure because they feel like they're losing control over things. So they want to put a vice grip on things, not understanding that's how you lose more control. Because what I see here with your JP Morgan Chase and PayPal is they are upset that people are out here on the internet and they're presenting differences of opinion, differences of viewpoints, and they're fearing that they're going to lose their economic base. So what they want to do is try to censor people, not understanding that that's how you lose your economic base. Because this is what happened to Patreon a couple of years ago. Patreon tried to censor conservative voices, and what happened was a lot of people stopped using Patreon, and Patreon almost went bankrupt. And then they went right back to doing business. They said, we can't keep doing this because we're going to go broke. And this is the same thing that's going to happen here with these cancel culture types who seem to be on the far left. And they seem to want to try to destroy other institutions, not understanding what happened with prohibition in the 20s. Now, back in the 20s, they tried to do this thing with where they were going to ban alcohol, and all that did was create black markets. And if you try to censor people's ability to be able to participate in the economy, what they're going to do is create a black market, or they're going to create alternative businesses, and your business is going to go out of business. So these politicians and these business people, they're trying to censor everybody, not understanding that you're just going to drive yourself right out of business. Now, your Kanye West, as I see it, yes, he's like what I call, you know, he's like a broken clock, and a broken clock is right 2 times a day.
Yeah.
And he is right that your Diddy is a tool of the left. He's right about that. I'll agree with him there. But the whole thing is, he's out here making statements, not understanding you got to watch your words. I mean, yes, we know all of that to be true about black people being the true Israelites. I mean, that's something that many Hebrew Israelites talk about. And he's also talked about how these individuals control the entertainment industry and the business industry. So we know that this is true, but the whole problem with your Kanye West is that he just doesn't know how to say things. I mean, he just comes out here. He's got on a White Lives Matter shirt, and that makes him appear to be like he's somewhat mentally ill. He makes brilliant points, but the whole thing is he doesn't really have much credibility because he was a part of the entertainment industry, and he was also out here looking to go out here and gain favor. But the whole thing is that he doesn't have the credibility to go out here and say stuff. But we do see a disturbing trend with the left and their need for control. And it's sadly scary because it's showing us that they are just as vile as the communists who are completely against America.
Yeah. Well, these are some of the text messages he was going back and forth with Diddy on. And you see, I believe this is Puff here, and then this is Yeezy, if this is his text messages, but they got it, I think, from his IG. And they took him off our Instagram, by the way. They
Yeah,
suspended
they
him.
did the same thing to him that they did to Alex Jones.
Donald Trump. Yeah, and they did it to Trump. They did it to Minister Farrakhan. I still have that flag, and I need to talk to the people at YouTube why I still have this. I still have that hate speech thing on my channel from 2 years ago for broadcasting the Criterion Minister Farrakhan's Savior's Day address. I mean, to just suspend him. Now, Diddy, he spoke out why he was upset with the White Lives Matter, and I understand why, and I don't support it either. But here's the thing. Yes, I think Kanye gets used by people, and Candace Owens, we know what she's all about. The question I think for Kanye, if we're going to talk about the White Lives Matter shirt, is that when have white lives not mattered in America, in the world? White supremacy is real.
Yeah.
It is a real thing. Look at the Queen of England. They're still talking about her crown with that diamond from India that's on there. They had a tweet that was going viral, wanting them to return it, wanting them to pay reparations for what they did across the world, not just in India, but even in the Caribbean islands. You know, in Jamaica, she's still recognized as the monarch of Jamaica and so forth. That black country, the Virgin Islands, all of these places. It's the Kenora diamond that's still on her crown.
Yeah.
So,
What's up?
but
Check
I
this out,
think the
y'all.
thing with Diddy, I think that, and you know, they went back and forth. And like I said, but I respect Kanye West's right to express himself, even if I disagree with how. Sorry, even if I disagree with how he does it or what he's saying. I don't like this direction that we're going in this country where we're censoring everything. And I believe Kanye issued some type of apology. They are actually offering him the Jewish community. I saw that and I read that they actually want to offer Kanye a trip to the museum, Holocaust Museum. I don't know if you heard that. Some of the U.S. lawmakers have condemned him from AOC, which it doesn't surprise me that they do that. But he said Diddy was controlled by the Jews, Adidas and Gap. Now, let me just say this. I'm not an anti-Semite myself. I respect all people. I respect their religion. But the truth is the truth with things, regardless of how anybody feels. And like Jesus said himself, the truth shall set you free. I came to speak the truth when he told Pontius Pilate, and Pontius Pilate asked him what is truth. So here's the thing. When you look at Hollywood music studios, when you look at the entertainment industry, it is not hate speech that I'm saying this, but the fact that, and you know this, Shawn, a lot of the
Yeah.
Hollywood studios got started by Hungarian Jewish immigrants. That's not a racist thing. That's not anti-Semitic. That's a fact. The man who played on Scandal, who was also on Ghost, who played the villain Carl, Tony Goldwyn. His grandfather is Samuel Goldwyn, MGM. I can go on Universal Studios, Paramount Pictures, Warner Brothers, Jack Warner. You know, who was a known racist. They were Jewish immigrants. The black artist, let's be real, like your Frankie Lyman. He had Morris Levy as his manager and the owner of the record company. He would put his name on songs that he didn't even freaking write and get royalties from it. Same thing with Jackie Wilson's manager, Nate Turnbaum. He would put his name on stuff. He put his son's name on one of the records. His son wasn't even born. Sam Cooke had Alan Klein. And it's been well documented, or speculated, I should say. A lot of people think Klein had something to do with Sam's murder. Now, I am not going to state, based off of that, I would never ever generalize an entire group of people because of the actions of some. However, it is a fact, and it's true to a degree, Shawn, that the people in the industries, in the entertainment fields, especially the executives, I think it's safe to say, most of the executives in the recording industry are not black.
No.
And a large number of them are of the, let's just say, the Yiddish persuasion. A good number of them, right?
Good number.
A very good number. Let's just say they're white. Because Judaism is a religion, right?
Yeah.
Now, of course, there's a culture that is associated with that as well. But that's the truth. And they were offended. So all the stuff Kanye did, they weren't bothered by the White Lives Matter shirt, but the minute he said Diddy is controlled by the Jews and saying how blacks are the true Jews and they got offended by him saying going DEFCON 3. That's when we're going to remove his bank. We're going to cancel his bank account. We're going to cancel his Adidas contract. We're canceling his Gap contract. We don't have nothing to do with him. They're going to bank. They're going. Trust me. Kanye West is getting his wake up call. This is every black entertainer, like Eddie Griffin said, gets an asterisk by their name. And we know Kanye has had mental issues. They know that. I remember when Kanye West said slavery was a choice. And he got called out by that brother, Van Lathan, on TMZ when he said that. Remember?
Yeah.
The Jewish community didn't speak up. I didn't see members of the Jewish community saying, let's cancel him or we take a, cancel him. And that's why, another reason black people are not so keen to defend him. Because he has that history of saying these things. And I'm not defending necessarily his actions and what he has said. And to a degree, he did bring it on himself because he's having a private conversation with Diddy and then he puts it on Instagram. Everybody can see it, man. You got over 10 million followers. They're going to retweet this. Not thinking. But do you have any last thing you want to say on it, Shawn?
No, that's about it. I mean, the whole thing is that when I look at this whole Kanye and thing, it's like he's trying to expose certain things, but it's just the way he's going about it is jamming himself up. But we know that your P. Diddy is nothing more than a sellout and a bootlick. I mean, I've known this for years. I mean, ever since the stampede at City College, I mean, this guy has never really been for black people. He's just basically been a shill for white folks, and he's been bought and paid for years. And that is just Kanye just telling the truth about him. But the whole thing is, he went and nobody was upset until he started mentioning the Jews, and then that's when they wanted to destroy him. And this is where he just wound up making a major mistake. But we all know that this is the truth about things. But your Kanye he just upset the wrong people. But again, it shows how bad our society is because, again, if they can take out your Kanye and Alex Jones, what's to stop them from coming after the average everyday American?
Yeah. And this is what I'm talking about, vote or die.
Yeah, that clown show. And we voted for Barack Obama, and what did we get? Nothing.
We voted for Donald. We voted for Joe Biden, and what have we gotten so far? We got
nothing.
We wanted Sister Girl. The first I got called. I actually had people upset with me because I wasn't supporting Kamala.
I don't want to support. I don't
support her for what is she's been. Those people aren't saying nothing now. When she, especially after her latest gaffe, when she said called South Korea, North Korea being an ally. Yeah. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. So one of the last things I want to talk about, Shawn, I want your opinion on this, is what your thoughts are on the city council in Los Angeles and the remarks that were made. I'm sure you've heard what happened. By the way, I want to tell you, shout out on the video you did of what happened in Slidell. You recall?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just looking here on Twitter. Somebody said, Ebony Williams said Chris Rock was shucking and driving at his last show. Wait, hold on. Let's see this right quick.
I had a very interesting weekend. Mm-hmm. It started by me attending the Chris Rock show by myself.
Okay.
I have been a lifelong Chris Rock comedy fan. For me, Chris Rock is done. Chris Rock was so clearly shucking and jiving.
Don't tell me that.
He was so clearly curtailing his bits for white claps. Mm-hmm. It was just full on, unapologetically anti-black.
Really?
This black ass man was sitting in this auditorium. Basically, what he said was, "I'm black, but I'm not a."
And he said it in front of a room full of white people.
Right, and they were laughing their fucking asses off. Dustin. I left halfway. I was disappointed. I was hungry. let me just take my black ass home to Checkers. I left there thinking he needed to be slapped one more time. I didn't like the first slap. I thought it was just, whatever. But now I'm like, what shit? Where's Big Willie when you need him?
Will Smith when you need it. Damn. I haven't seen it, but I think, Chris Rock has always did the joke, black people versus M's. And let me say this as a comedian, especially those that, because I get people get offended and get easily. That's comedians. A comedian's job is to step on toes. They cross the line. Even Richard Pryor said that. My job is to find the line and immediately step over it. George Carlin did that. Any comedian you go to, you're not going to hear something you're going to hear something you don't find funny or not in favor of. So it happens. Oh, Shawn, you don't have nothing to say on it. Just quiet on it.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about something else, but this is your Chris Rock, and he's again a Hollywood bootleg. And what we're seeing now is I'm seeing that your Hollywood folks are major league bootlegs. And what do we see with your Diddy? Again, we've got a bootleg. I mean, Black Hollywood doesn't seem to be looking out for Black people, and they all live to pander for white folks. So basically, what we're seeing with most of your Black Hollywood is that they're not interested in looking out for the Black community. They're basically a bunch of minstrels who are looking to get favor with white folks. So as I see it, this is just showing us who our enemies are in the Black community. And
I don't think you've ever said it probably in your life.
No.
Yeah.
And a lot of your entertainers basically are not on our side.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know what he actually said, but the bit he did, if it's what she was saying, he did that over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
If it's the same from Black people versus niggas, it was the bit. Now, he got called out for it. Bill Cosby even called him out on it because he didn't think it was appropriate. But I remember it was a classic joke. And, some stuff, because even with us and so forth, we talk about this all the time. Shawn, you say it, but say it nicer in a nice way. We don't need the Pookies and Ray Rays in our community.
Yeah, well,
but
we don't need them.
We condemn them, but he said it in a comedic fashion. See, I support, just like we talked about free speech.
Yeah.
I support people's free speech. Now, I also know if I'm in mixed company, there are some things I probably would not say either. But he was real comfortable with.
He's the blackest white guy I fucking know. And then all the negative things we think about Black people. This fucker.
You're saying I'm a nigger.
Yes, you are the niggerest fucking white man I have ever.
Now Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh,
amazing. I don't think he could do that.
Oh,
I don't think he has those
there's only
qualities.
two. I mean,
now Jerry Seinfeld
you don't even understand.
Really?
You don't really know him. Like I've worked with him.
No, like your bit about.
I wouldn't use it anywhere.
No, exactly. These two.
We say nigger on stage.
On stage.
You guys don't. That's
that's
interesting. Two teams
that's
here.
the difference between
That's right. That's right.
We
say
can pair
nigger on
up in
stage. You
different
guys
ways,
don't.
but that's definitely a pairing. Who
We
says
say-
nigger on stage? We don't.
Well, you just did.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
You and me say
No,
nigger in
no,
private.
No.
These two guys don't. I don't believe he says it in private.
I've
much.
given it up just because it's plain.
I don't believe it's. I don't think you've ever said it probably in your life. No. Yeah, that's
They,
that
was
big
on
huge difference
HBO.
between you and me. I think.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what I've said.
This
found
was
the
something
humor of
he
it.
did on
Yeah.
HBO
I haven't
a while
found it.
back. I remember they were just. It was I guess a special that he did with Louis C.K. and Ricky Gervais and Jerry Seinfeld. I mean, I don't think I would do that.
Right.
Nor do I seek it.
But yeah, but somebody wrote that this violent hood rat bullshit that Chris Rock is against, she's for. Again, I don't know who Ebony Williams is. Who exactly? You know,
I have no idea who this is.
I've seen her before. If she's on Fox Soul, then I ain't even supporting that.
Anybody on Fox Soul I know is a clown.
Ebony Williams is a lawyer. Yeah. She does Revolt TV. Okay. Yeah, she got her law degree here in Louisiana. I remember. I don't remember her, but yeah, she's on Real Housewives of New York. Shit, she used to be on Fox News. Oh goodness, what's she talking? She can finally be black again.
Yeah.
I'm just. But let's get into it, bro, because I know we got a roll. But this Los Angeles City Council, I wanted to talk about this. The What's going on is Los Angeles City Council members were confronted by the public over racist remarks. It's now been Nury Martinez, of course, was caught on tape, and I talked about this on Tuesday. The 4 council members were caught on tape making disparaging remarks, in particular about the child of one city council person who's gay, who's their black adopted son, calling him a little monkey in Spanish. So, but the other comments that were made was also about the gerrymandering that was going on. Now, these are Latinos, and supposedly these are the people who are representing, we have that alliance, with
Yeah.
down with the cause and stuff. But you all will see that there is no, there is that you have no allies, Shawn, and
I've
they
known
were
that for years.
yes, and I want to play this because they were confronted over. She was confronted by several people over the remarks, the entire city council for that matter.
Black son. So I had a 3-year-old. I read what Nury Martinez said about Mike Connor's son. She looked me in my face and said, "Is this the right city to raise our black son?" So I have a 3-year-old. And I don't tolerate violence towards black children or any child at that. You know what I told her? I looked her in her face and said, "We're not going to I love this. I love this city. I told her I'm going to do my part. And one thing I want to say is the blatant anti-black racism that was in those organizations crazy. We witnessed more leaders, some of the strongest leaders in the city, strategically plan and plot to race black now. We're the most marginalized community in the city. Somebody tell us this. I should call it on the city council. Y'all need to address anti-black racism. And if you don't, be with it. You have 2 choices. Be on the right side of history or be on the wrong side of history.
Yeah, so that's part of it. They were even more people calling for her to resign over the last couple of days. And it's not just her. Now this was the audio, but they even talked about it was other individuals who were saying things as well. I listened to it, and right now it's been reported that Nury Martinez has officially stepped down from the city council, but the other members have not.
So you'll start seeing on lineup. Isaac was the first. All the
So it's not just the
like,
comment about the kid being a
He did
monkey.
call
She
me
said,
once
"Fuck
at
these guys,
breakfast with
fuck
him.
that guy," referring to the
What's
district
he
attorney
from?
of
I
Los
just
Angeles.
said, hey,
He's
I
with
need
the
to talk.
blacks.
You supported him from the. Alright, don't worry, I got you. So you'll start seeing on lineup. Isaac was the first. All the folks.
Tariq Nasheed put this out. The vile anti-black racism coming from LA City Council members explains much of the economic deprivation that is coordinated against the black citizens of Los Angeles. That's why this should be rectified by the city of Los Angeles, allocating funds specifically go to black-run organizations. The Labor president, he also had to resign because he took part in a racist diatribe. Now, Bonin has the son who's Councilman Mike Bonin, who has a son he's gay, and he adopted the black child. And she was complaining about how he was running around on a float and so forth. But Shawn, when you see this stuff, what do you think about it? About him resigning? Actually, It says here Mitchell Farrell. Originally, Nury Martinez stepped down as the president, but she didn't step down from city council, but now she has stepped down. But her other pals, De Leon and Cedilio, need to tender their resignations as well.
Well, this whole incident shows us that there is no black-brown coalition.
Sorry.
And I've seen that right here in the Bronx. I mean, in the Bronx, we had one of the first so-called black-brown coalitions. And once the Hispanics gained all of the political offices, they basically forgot all about black people here in the South Bronx. So I've already seen that there was no black-brown coalition here in New York. So I know that there's none in Los Angeles. And I also know that many from living among Hispanics, there's a lot of racist in the Hispanic community. And basically, they look out for themselves and they don't really care about black people. And what they were looking to do was create a fiefdom for themselves where they could go out here and profit as related to getting government contracts. This is the same type of banana republic stuff that is done in many countries where Hispanic people come from. And what they wanted to do was try to participate in that type of corrupt enterprise right here in Los Angeles. Now, this is going on here in New York, and we've had numerous types of scandals with Hispanics doing this here in New York. And they're just seeing this for the first time in California. Now, this woman calling the little 2-year-old boy a monkey in Spanish, that's something that is done regularly by a lot of Hispanic people. And I've seen this done here in New York. And this is something that they do because, again, they have a very low view of black people and they don't really respect black people. So they go out here and disrespect us. But the whole thing is we have to start standing up for ourselves and demanding respect and understanding these Hispanics are not our allies. They are really seeing us as an enemy because they want to be white. And they've created a covert contract where they believe if they go along with the white supremacists, they will get the privilege of whiteness. And that's what this Nury Martinez and her cronies thought. They thought they had the privilege of whiteness, and they thought they could go out here and openly participate in racism, just like they say many on the right do. And what we're seeing is that the left and the right both participate in anti-black racism, and they have no respect for us as citizens. And again, black people, we have to go out here and demand that these people not only resign, but we also have to start taking over these districts and start voting for our own, picking our own candidates, because clearly these candidates aren't representing us.
And you know, what were they talking about? Now, the remark about the kid was one thing, but
yeah,
they were also talking about gerrymandering and redistricting, which was
yeah,
another thing in it, which tells you already what they think about black people and how they try to manipulate the goalpost.
yeah. I've seen that done here in New York, how they
Yes,
control
they do
the
in New
job
York.
markets and try to control political offices. And what they were doing the exact same thing that people try to do here, Hispanics try to do here in New York before they got caught on federal indictments. Because when you try to pull this type of stuff, eventually the AUSA's office is gonna find out what you're doing, and eventually you're gonna wind up getting caught. And I've seen that happen multiple times here in New York, and it's gonna happen there because possibly after these people resign, they're probably gonna have to deal with a federal indictment because a lot of the stuff that they were doing was definitely illegal on a federal level, and they're probably going to wind up getting locked up for some time.
Yeah. And I don't know who leaked the video exactly. I'm grateful that they did.
I'm grateful that they did too.
This also, because what this is important too is just to prove to black people once and for all, you don't have an ally.
Yeah. I knew that 30 years ago.
Stand for us. We're victims of y'all. It's the only way to Otherwise, it's gonna be. What's that crowd? What that crowd good?
I mean, there are people saying we shouldn't do any business until these folks are gone, rushing to do major pieces of legislation like the good stuff that was submitted yesterday is a mistake. They asked to shut it down. KDL and Gill need to resign now. Yeah. And she didn't apologize for what she said. So this is her statement. So she didn't issue a formal apology. It looks like I'm looking for the word apologize. She's sorry that she got caught. This is what it looks like. I'm sorry the way that it's ending. Now, I love and respect Judge Joe Brown. I saw him tweeting. He says he thinks the woman should stay because that little boy running around like he owns every damn thing. Like he controls, he don't need to, especially with that gay family. And I understood what he was saying, but I disagreed with him because it's still a child.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything. But I also, and there was no, and I don't think they were concerned about the agenda. They were concerned about the boy being black. He called him a monkey.
Yeah.
A little monkey, a chunkinga. Tunika.
Yeah. Well, this was a case of liberals eating their own.
Yeah. Now look at this. Larry Elder is saying this. She said Nury Martinez referred to, Larry's going to talk about the homophobic stuff. He referred to Mike Bonin, who is gay, as a little bitch. Martinez has now resigned, but has she apologized directly to Bonin and the gay community for that apparent homophobic slur? No. So he'll stand up for the gay stuff, but not black. Oh, I've heard stuff about Larry. There's been a lot of stuff about Larry Elder. We've known he's on some bullshit, but I've heard some other stories. I won't go in detail. But you saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad she resigned, but there's more house cleaning to do. I want to also play something that I bookmarked here. This is from 2 videos I have, short clips. Can we do them right quick? One is from,
all right.
I don't know who this person is.
I fucking hate black people, bro. You know why? Just now, a fucking nigger ran the fucking stoplight and looked at me like it was my motherfucking fault.
They do know when this goes on viral, there's no way of taking it down, right?
Fucking people. I don't give a fuck. Because y'all
they know when this goes viral, they can't take this down, and
like
everybody can see
our
it.
fault or the white man or whatever the fuck it is. Bro, like I don't give a fuck. Kill them all, bro. Kill them the fuck all. And this is why, folks.
You know, whoever this hoe is, I'm not gonna mince my words.
I don't
know where she works at. I don't know what she does for a living, but I hope she has some black people at her office. They say this woman is Jacqueline DeLuca. She says she regrets what she said. I'm using such words against race. I know everyone is behind for, and I never meant to hurt anyone. I let anger get the best of me to the moment, and I ask as a human to please forgive. I'm saying, no, fuck you. You basically committed a hate crime. I mean, you have free speech, but you say you need to kill them all. You're making a threat. It could be perceived at least to be threatening. Am I right?
Yeah.
Somebody say we need to check her paperwork and see if she's legal. Well, she better not do an ancestry.com and see that African fall out of that tree, that family tree. I hope wherever she works at, her bosses see this. Because if she works in public and works around black people, who can work with her if you're black? That says something that hateful. She needs to be fired.
Minorities as allies.
Am I right, Shawn?
Yeah.
Now, this last video, this is an old video. This is a resident named Terry Anderson. Now, he spoke some truth about what's going on in Los Angeles.
And this is not the case. These people are not here for our common good. They're here for their own good. Where I don't have any ill will towards anybody, I also want to look out for my race. I'm a Black American. I've never used a hyphen. But I will refuse to turn my back on my race and see what's going on in South Central to my people and let these people come in here and just take over. I'm not going to sit back and watch it. And I think it's a terrible thing, a horrendous thing for anybody to see this going on and say, well, he's a minority like me, so I won't speak up. I don't care where he comes from. The key to this whole thing is stop the denial, stop the alliances of, in other words, he's a minority like me, so I can't speak up against him. If this was white folks committing these lynchings to us in South Central, what's going on, there would be an outrage in this country. We have had firebombs thrown through windows. We have had people's cars burned in the driveway because they happened to move into the wrong communities. We had a lady who moved to East LA, came to the state from the South, not knowing what East LA was. It was an all Hispanic community. She wasn't there one day. We had another man who was burned out of his house in Torrance last year. We had 5 murders in Hawaiian Gardens just because the people were black. This would not be tolerated if this was white on black crime. But the fact that these people come here, and it's the numbers, sir. It's the numbers. They come here in the numbers, they build up the Hispanic community, and they get this sense of power against us. And there are race riots in the schools every day in Los Angeles. It never makes the media. The black kids are being run out of the schools every day and told to go back to Africa. It never makes the media. We are having people who are being discriminated against on every avenue of society, economic, schools, even in our prisons now.
He was talking about the impact of illegal immigration in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And he's right. You know, I got to say this because I treat people how I want to be treated. And there's an old saying, Shawn, if you have nothing good to say, don't say it at all. My mom used to say that all the time. You have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all, because you say something bad, you never know, there can be backlash, and that's what happened with this. But but you know, we don't have any allies in this, and this illegal immigration thing is hurting this community. I even heard in New York there are people now complaining about the number of immigrants in New York. In sanctuary cities, people are complaining about it now. See, they were all for it, but now when they got to bear the cost, when it's impacting their business, their monies, it's a problem.
That's the way it always is with the liberal. He's all for stuff until he has to start paying for it.
And then wants the government to fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Shawn, I won't keep you any further. I think we've done great with our topics. I didn't have anything else to discuss, but I did want to ask you just one quick thing. Are you doing a video, or did you do a video on Tia Mowry and Corey Hardwick?
I'm going to be doing another one soon. I did a live stream. I did a live stream on them, and I did a follow-up video talking about Tia Mowry being possessed with the Jezebel spirit. But I may do a third one because she's talking about the next chapter of her life, and I may follow that up tonight when I do start filming.
Yeah. Did you see Steph Curry's wife?
Yeah, I saw her. They have the Jezebel spirit.
Oof. I think she was in Paris when she took that, was walking down the runway.
Yeah, but they have the Jezebel spirit. They think that they're empowered and liberated, but they're embarrassing themselves because they don't understand how bad they're making themselves look in front of their husbands and stuff, because your woman shouldn't be out there like that at all.
So no married woman should be showing their parts.
No, they should not be showing it. The only person they're supposed to be showing it for is their husband.
You heard about Sierra, Russell Wilson? They're blaming Russell Wilson's poor play on Sierra.
Well, yeah, because he's a simp. He married a woman who's already got a kid.
He chose her.
Yeah.
I can't blame how he played necessarily all on her, but I think he got $250 million. He got comfortable.
He got comfortable, and he's not playing like he should.
Yeah, and he's a vet. He knows how to work an offense.
But his focus is not on his game.
Yeah. And did you see the Senator Tommy Tuberville video?
No, I didn't see that one.
I'll play that for you just right quick before you get off, because I know we got a little limited time.
Yeah.
But I do want to show you this video because he made a remark about reparations. So
they're soft on crime. No, they're not soft on crime. They're pro-crime. Some people say, well, they're soft on crime. No, they're not soft on crime. They're pro-crime. They want crime. They want crime because they want to take over what you got. They want to control what you have. They want reparation because they think the people that do the crime are owed that. Bullshit. They are not owed that. Some people say, well, they're soft on crime. No, they're not soft on crime. They're pro-crime. They want crime. They want crime because they want to take over what you got. They want to control what you have. They want reparation because they think the people that do the crime are owed that. Bullshit. They are not owed that.
Some people Tommy Tuberville. This is a man who made a living off the backs of young black men on the football field. He was the coach of Auburn for a number of years. And he essentially says they want reparations because they think that the people that do the crime are owed that. Now, anything, reparations, of course, nowadays, it is commonly associated with black people because it has been black people, especially foundational black Americans, who have been calling for that in recent times. Reparations, of course, has been given to other groups. But when you look at that video, Shawn, he's obviously doing some dog whistling for the white supremacists. And this redneck.
Yeah.
Because that's what he is. Though he's a rich fucking redneck, but he's a fucking redneck at that, has a problem with black people, obviously, and is dog whistling to the white supremacists out there in, this was in Nevada, where he did this rally. So, Minden, Nevada. So, he's not, I don't think, to my knowledge, come out and apologized for it. But he made $25 million off the backs of black men.
And he's got the same paternalistic view of the slave master. He thinks that black people are not supposed to get reparations because we're supposed to be the ones who are causing all of this so-called crime. But the whole thing is he doesn't look at the FBI statistics that show you that most of the crime in America is perpetrated by whites. And he wants to make the black people look like they're the villains of the story. And again, the way we deal with somebody like him is to not go out here and vote for this individual. And the whole thing is this is another reason why we have to start picking our own candidates, because if we go with these type of candidates, we only voting against ourselves. And it just shows how, again, there are those on the far right and the far left, and they both participate in anti-black racism.
Yeah, well, it is anti-black racism, and I will say this: he basically is dog whistling to white supremacists.
Yeah,
it's not right, and even his former players have come out to denounce him. Of course, they have to, but that's the thing. They usually treat these kids as slaves and property. When they have no more use for them, they discard them, and everybody needs to call him out on this. Tommy Tuberville, imagine what he was thinking of those kids when he was coaching at Auburn.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Shawn, well, let's do a plug-in for your book, The Woman Crisis right now, Shawn, if we can do that.
All right. The digital edition of The Woman Crisis is available for pre-order on Kindle, Smashwords, Barnes & Noble, the iBookstore, Google Play, and all online booksellers. And if you want to get this companion to The Man Crisis, you can pick up The Woman Crisis by pre-ordering it right now, and it'll be delivered to your device on November 29th. And the paperback will be available even before that. So if you want to pick up pre-order your digital version of The Woman Crisis, do it now, but the paperback will be coming in November.
All right, and Shawn, also, while I'm at it, I'm gonna plug in something else. You all can go to Amazon Kindle right now and get the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America, in the United States. That's available on Amazon Kindle. And please like it, leave a comment. You can read this right now. It is a must-read book. Shawn, of course, edited it, so he knows all about it, and he enjoyed it himself. So please do that. Go to Amazon right now and order The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., even recommended by Bill Cosby's spokesperson, Andrew Wyatt. Must-read book. All right. And the next thing, too, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to support our channel, you can always donate to the Cash App, please, the Google Pay, the Zelle. That's the best way to support this channel. Also, if you would like to check out some of our music, we have Video Soul, and we have Video Soul, and of course, we have Gotta Get On Up. But also do this, you can purchase a Nonny's Creole Seasoning Blend just in time for the holidays. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nonny's goes great with every dish. Shawn, you still have your Nonny's and you need some more?
I still have mine.
Okay, yeah. Please, please, please buy. Support this. We're trying to get it in stores, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Shawn.
Right.
Do you have any final comments? Anything else?
No, I have nothing else to say.
All right, well, I thank you for joining me in this special edition of Random Topic Thursdays, guys. As you can tell, the light is out, so we had this pre-recorded because I'm actually going out of town in a minute. But I also want you to do this. Oh, I got to put this in here, and I'm going to leave the link on my YouTube channel. I'm going to upload it. If you're in the New Orleans area, we have comedy coming out back to the Well. That's right, comedy on Saturday night at the Well, ladies and gentlemen. That is Get Your Laugh On. We're going to have great comedians such as our headliner, Terry Scott, the sit-down comedian. We also have Will Merrill, B-Dub, Brandon Haynes. It's going to be a great night of comedy starting at 7 o'clock at the Well, ladies and gentlemen. So please get your tickets right now. I'm going to put the link in the description of the video so you can come out and support, even if you're not going to be there. If you can't, if you want to buy a ticket just to support me, that's another thing you could do. But I really want y'all there. If you're in the New Orleans area, I want you there. Come out, get your laugh on. These guys are killers. It's going to be a great, amazing show, and I'm hosting it. So you got to come out and support me. Otherwise, I'm going to be stuck on YouTube, demonetized, not making any money, and this will hurt. But this is my promotion, so I'm grateful we're doing this. The last show we had in August was an outstanding show. We had to have at least 40 people in there. We need more people there, Shawn. It's going to be a great show. So please come on out. And that is it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Shawn, for coming here on short notice. I appreciate you doing this with me in the daytime. And we will be back next Sunday. On Sunday, we'll be talking with some people. I'm trying to get a special guest to come on the show too. But you all be safe and be blessed, ladies and gentlemen. I'll holla. Peace out. Thank you, Shawn. Now, in the meantime, guys, we always got to close it out with Get On Up because we've gotten on down. Now it's time to get on up. Good night, everyone. I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat.
Because on the dance floor is where we'll meet. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Now, 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you're breathing, you're achieving. So if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll meet.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up
and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the
floor, baby. Yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up, baby.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.